Hello everyone and welcome back to Perio Hub. I'm Dr. Sneha and this video is going to be very different from the routine videos that we see on this channel, as tomorrow, that is the 22nd of August, is the Tooth Fairy Day. And to celebrate this day with us, we have an amazing pediatric dentist and a very good friend of mine, Dr. Saranya. Hi Dr. Saranya and welcome to Perio Hub.
Hi Dr. Sneha, I'm glad to be a part of your YouTube channel.
It's actually weird to talk in this way, keeping in mind a decade of friendship behind us. So any which ways, if you like this video, please hit the like button, subscribe, comment, share, and also do follow Saranya on her social handles and check her out on her website. The link and all the information will be in the description box below. So with that, let's get started. So Dr. Saranya, what exactly is this Tooth Fairy Day and how did the concept come into picture?
So Tooth Fairy is a very mythical creature that came into existence to make the whole experience of losing their baby teeth and getting new teeth, making the whole process a little less traumatic, more fun, more amicable to the children. So what happens is when the child loses their tooth, the parent puts the tooth under the pillow and the tooth fairy is said to come and take the tooth and leave a gift in return for the child. So it makes the whole experience something different for the child, something positive and something to look forward to. So this is celebrated twice in a year in different parts of the world. Sometimes it's on February 28th and sometimes it's on August 22nd.
So do you see children and parents coming into your dental practice often with concerns regarding shedding of the teeth?
Actually, yes, very often. Sometimes it starts as early as just after birth and right up to the time when they enter the permanent dentition. 0 to 12, 13 years of age, we do see parents coming in with some complaint or the other in this regard.
So can you please broadly explain us that as a pediatric dentist, what are the concerns that children and parents come to you on a general day-to-day basis?
So yes, we do get children even at their gum pad stage. When they come with some white patches or white spots on their gum pads, parents get really scared about it, and they can be something like Bohn's nodules or Epstein pearls, which are not so much of an issue of concern. They generally go away as the child grows older or when the primary teeth come into existence. Followed by this, the next concern the parents come with is with natal or neonatal teeth. These are teeth which are present at or soon after birth in the child. The main concern here is when the parent comes with the complaint of difficulty or discomfort when the child is feeding. It's either this or the child starts getting ulcers on their tongue when the tooth starts rubbing against the tongue. So after this, the child usually comes with a complaint when they are around 2.5 years old. So generally this is the age when children start having teething issues and when they start biting on things, when they are irritable, and the parents also have a concern about when the first tooth is going to come out. So usually we think
so sorry to just interrupt you, Dr. Saranya, I'm so sorry, but just wanted to know, as you have mentioned that there is irritability during the process of teething, then what is the advice that you give parents during this time? So how do you counsel them?
So see, it's a very natural process. There is nothing you can do to stop it. All we do is we motivate the parent, we make them understand that they can only be of support to the child, probably give the child some teething ring, something cold to bite on, make sure the child's surroundings are absolutely clean and they don't get any germs into their mouth which can cause further infections, and just calm and soothe the child. Sometimes we may need some analgesic cream on the gum pads just to numb away the pain while the tooth is erupting. Otherwise, it's a very normal physiological process.
Okay. So you can continue, yes.
So like I said, the first tooth can erupt anytime between 6 months to first year of birth. It's not necessary it has to be this one particular age, and the parents generally fret over that. Now continuing around 2.5 years of age, when they start getting their molars, the milk deciduous molars, they might have some amount of bluish discoloration on the gingiva, although it's not very common, but they do have it. Sometimes the parents come with that concern. It's like an eruption hematoma, which we don't have to worry about. just some amount of comfort, and when the tooth erupts, the eruption hematoma usually ruptures and the tooth comes out into the oral cavity. From this age on till the child is 6 years old, we generally don't have any complaints in relation to eruption or shedding of teeth. It's generally only early childhood caries or some event of trauma that they come to us for. In these relation also, we just try to look into any lack of space or any loss of space due to interproximal caries that we will need to tend to with interceptive or preventive orthodontics at this stage or later.
Okay. So what about the age when these deciduous teeth fall out and the whole concept of tooth fairy comes into picture? So what happens then?
So this tooth fairy comes into picture say around 6 years of age, when the first primary tooth starts falling out. So when the child is about, generally the first primary tooth that falls out is your lower central incisors, which is not always but most common is that. And the parents generally come with a complaint of shark teeth in their terms, which is the permanent lower incisors start erupting lingually to the primary central incisors. In that case, what we'll have to do is we'll have to remove the primary central incisors and explain to them that this could be an initial sign of crowding, and the child may or may not need to go in for some interceptive or orthodontics in the future, in the long run. Other complaint they come with is when they have the permanent first molar erupting. In that case, generally the complaint is there is pain or there is irritation or there's some amount of swelling in that area. That's because of the operculum that covers the tooth. So it's a very simple procedure. We remove the operculum, we do an operculectomy, the child is comfortable and the tooth normally erupts into the oral cavity. After this, we just monitor the child with every eruption of tooth till 12 years of age as they start losing teeth one by one, till they reach the stage of permanent dentition.
So now that we are speaking so much about shedding and the consequent eruption of the teeth, are there any specific factors that we need to consider while talking about this topic?
So there are a lot of factors that determine whether a tooth is going to come out at its correct time and place. There are local factors and systemic factors. Local factors are mostly that anything that is obstructing the path of eruption of the tooth, or if there's an early or late exfoliation of primary teeth. Sometimes the hindrances can be in the form of supernumerary teeth like a mesiodens, which can greatly deflect the path of eruption of the upper anteriors. Similarly, we should check in all regions of the mouth if there's any hindrances and try to remove them. Very rarely we see ankylosis of primary teeth. Again, it is not a very common phenomena. Coming to systemic factors, there can be any hormonal imbalances. There can be hyperthyroidism, hypothyroidism, hypo or hyperpituitarism, something like that, or any syndromes like Down syndrome, cleidocranial dysostosis. All this can vary the timing of eruption of your permanent teeth.
So as it is the Tooth Fairy Day, we come to an end of today's video by asking you that what is that one advice, or how do you counsel the parents and children who come to you with the concerns of shedding of teeth?
So as a pediatric dentist, I can say that for children and parents alike, we play a major role when it comes to guiding them through this whole process of eruption of primary teeth, again their shedding, and then the permanent teeth coming into their mouth. We would like to advise them to just take it as a natural process. Don't intervene unless it's extremely necessary, or unless your pediatric dentist guides you or tells you that it needs some intervention. Calm the child, soothe the child, tell them it is a regular process and there's nothing to fear about it, and rest Tooth Fairy will take care of it when they lose their teeth. So
thank you so much, Dr. Saranya, for giving us this beautiful insight into the world of dentistry for kids, and we are extremely thankful for your presence on Perio Hub.
Thank you for having me, Dr. Sneha, and for a change, I'd like to give a shout out to her channel. Please do like, share, subscribe and promote her channel as much as you can. And I have a practice in Kormangla, Bangalore. If you happen to visit, do drop by. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.